to Whitby Newtown Leisure Centre. How may I help you?
My name is Mr. Didcot, and I'm 72 years old. And I was wondering what a place like this has to offer someone of my age and ability.
Well...
What I do require is some activity that will at the same time as give my body valuable exercise, will bring me into contact with other people in the community and help me be more than something than just an isolated social services statistic.
Well, I'm not sure we've got anything like that.
Oh, slim trim. That sounds interesting.
Yes, that's for younger people, really. Housewives, you know.
Are you saying that just because I'm elderly, I would not be welcome?
No, of course I'm not saying that. I just thought that you want to join.
Morning, Carol.
Oh, hello, Mr. Johnson. You're a bit late today.
Held up in the traffic. One ticket for the bowls court, please.
I think you'll find the young lady was attending to me first, young man.
Oh, sorry. You don't mind if I nip ahead, do you? It's just that I'm meeting friends.
I'll be as fast as I can, but you must understand that, being elderly, I do appreciate patience and understanding from those around me.
Oh, right.
How much will a session at this slim trim cost me then?
25 pence.
Oh, 25 pence. That's 5 shillings, isn't it? I remember when 5 shillings...
Just pay her the money, can't you?
Oh, I will take a ticket, young lady. Although 5 shillings is a lot to someone like me on a fixed pension. Now, where's my purse?
Oh, God.
I'll be as fast as I can, young man, but you must remember that an elderly person's fingers aren't as nimble as they used to be. Look what I've done now.
I don't believe it.
I'm 72 years old, you know.
I'm not likely to forget it, am I? Can I have my ticket, love?
I'm afraid she's still in the middle of a transaction.
What?
She's only allowed to conduct one operation at a time on the till.
I know someone else is going to need an operation in a minute. Come on, love, give us the ticket.
But she's not allowed to.
Now, don't push me. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Get your hands off me.
Somebody in the staff room, could they please come to reception? Thank you.
Get your hands off me. You'll pay for that damage.
You're going to make me?
I might just.
Now, don't you shake me
I'll
around.
shake whatever I like.
Would someone please come in to reception? Thank you.
That was my glasses.
What?
Now you've trodden on them. Right.
Please come to reception. Anyone in the centre?
Hey, cut that out, come on! You can't behave like that in here. Come on, you're off.
He broke my glasses.
It was an accident. It was him first.
He started it.
What is going on here?
He started it. He was trying to jump the queue.
Is this true?
I was in a hurry. I've got a match to play.
You jumping? You're lucky Mr. Brittas isn't here.
All right. I think we can sort this out somewhere else, shall we? Tim Gavin, would you like to take Mr. Johnson to the cafeteria and see if he's all right? Colin, there seems to be money all over the floor. Perhaps you could look at that. Right, now, and you are...
Mr. Derek Didcot.
Well, Mr. Didcot, shall we go up to Mr. Brittas' office and we can have a little talk?
Oh.
All right. Would you mind telling me what's going on?
I don't quite follow.
I just wondered, Mr. Brittas, why you had decided to tell everyone you were off sick today and then come in, covered in latex, calling yourself Mr. Derek Didcot.
How do you know it was me?
Some sixth sense. Mr. Brittas, what's all this about?
If you must know, Laura, I've been exploring attitudes to the aged. I wanted to find out for myself what it was like to be old and infirm. And I can tell you, it's a lot worse than I thought it was.
Well, I'm not surprised if you go around picking fights in reception.
Laura, Help the Elderly Week starts on Monday. And I've spent the best part of a month trying to work out the special needs of a neglected section of our society. The least I could expect, I would have thought, some support from my staff.
Ah! There you are, Mr. Didcot. Guess what I've got for you? But it's not working, is it? Do you know why? Because somebody forgot to put the batteries in. Don't you worry, I'll fix it and I'll bring it straight up. All right. I'll be slipping home half an hour early if that's all right, Laura.
More trouble with the infection, is it, Colin?
No, that's fine. Oh. But don't tell Mr. Brittas, eh? Actually, I have to get a dream interpreted.
A dream?
Last night, it was very upsetting. I was this eagle, you see. But instead of soaring aloft in the clouds with the other eagles, I was stuck on the ground because I had this mange under my feathers. I just want to find out what it means.
I think you should get it sorted, Colin.
Right. Catch you later, old-timer.
You certainly will.
So, you're off down to slim trim then, are you, Mr. Brittas?
There's not much point now, is there, Laura, as everyone seems to know who I am?
Colin didn't recognise you.
Hardly reassuring from a man who's just dreamt he's an eagle with mange.
Yes, well.
Dreams. I don't know how anyone believes that load of old poppycock. I've had the same dream for the last 7 nights running. It doesn't mean a thing. It's simply the pressure of work.
What was it?
What?
The dream. I just wondered what it was.
Nothing. If you must know, I was at a bus stop.
Yeah?
In the clouds. Very significant. A number 65 bus stop in the clouds.
So what happened?
I can't really remember. I'm carrying something, a knapsack, and it's got something very precious inside. A ball of light, if you please. And I've been carrying it for a long time, and I'm really tired. And it seems like I've been walking forever, and I've got to lie down and rest. But first, I've got to pass it on, this ball of light. It's very important that I give it to someone else so they can carry it on. But there isn't anyone.
And should there be?
Everyone's watching me, and the ball is getting heavier and heavier, but nobody will help me. Nobody will take the ball.
I see.
I suppose you can say that means something.
I think it might.
What, you mean like symbols, all that sort of stuff?
Well, I'd say that all this thinking about old people has suddenly made you aware of your own mortality.
Can we have it in English, please, Laura?
I think you're worried about what's going to happen to the centre when you retire. You get to 65, the bus stop, and you want your ideal, the things you believe in, the ball of light, to continue into the future. You want someone to take it over, to carry on.
But there isn't anyone.
No.
There's no one who'll do it.
Quite. I mean, I could be wrong, of course, but that's what it seemed to me. Possibly.
Morning, Carol. Hello, Mrs. Brittas. How are you feeling today?
2 weeks to go. I think I'm definitely pregnant.
Still, it'll all be worth it, won't it?
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah, how are yours doing?
Oh, very well, thank you. Ben's off playing in the equipment cupboard today. And little Tom is asleep at the moment. Oh. And Emily, needs a little bit of a nappy change, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, of course.
Hi, Helen.
Oh, Laura, just the person. I want you to drive me to hospital.
Now?
No. I've got my transcendental meditation class now. No, it's just when the balloon goes up or down. I'd like you to be the one who took me to hospital.
Not Mr. Brittas.
I'd rather it was you. You see, I don't want it to be like it was when Carol had her twins.
That wasn't anything he did.
Maybe not, but she's still wound up in the sauna being delivered by a vet. I'd rather not risk it. If Gordon drives me, I'll probably end up giving birth outside Marks and Spencer's with half of Whitbury looking on.
I'll be very happy to take you, Helen.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Laura. I'll tell him right away. Is he upstairs?
Yes.
Right.
Wearing a bald wig, calling himself Mr. Didcot. You didn't know?
No. I think I'll do my meditation class first.
So, what's he doing it for?
Oh, he's worried that old people aren't coming to the centre. He's got this chart in his office showing how 20 and 30-year-olds all play squash and go weightlifting.
But there's nobody over 70 in the trampoline club.
That's Tim, and he wants to know why.
Well, I wish he wasn't coming to my slim trim class. Well, you just have to treat him like everybody else.
Yeah, put him in a pink leotard and help him firm up his bust.
He's serious about this one, you know, Julie. I've heard he's put lead weights in his trousers to make him walk more like an old man. He could have a heart attack.
You needn't worry.
What?
He's given up the whole idea. He's had a dream.
Oh, not another one.
No, this is a dream. You know, waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, that kind of thing. He has something precious he wants to pass on.
Oh, he's already passed it to Carol and his wife. Isn't that enough?
He's a worried man, Julie, about what's going to happen when he's too old to manage the centre.
Dancing in the streets, I would have thought.
He's looking for someone to take it over. In fact, I'd say we'd be getting questionnaires about it all, sometime the next half hour.
Oh, that's what they are. Sorry, that's why I came down. Right, there's one for everybody. And, apart from you, Laura.
Oh?
Yeah, he says it wasn't worth giving you one. I'm not to tell you, but you're too old and thinks you have an attitude problem.
Oh, right. So what am I missing?
Would you like to take part in working towards an ideal which will one day play a major part in promoting world harmony and peace? No.
Would you be prepared to give a wholehearted and full-time commitment helping others find their place in the community through the medium of sport? Not really.
No. No. Would you like to discuss any of the ideas in this questionnaire outside office hours in an informal atmosphere, possibly over a cup of coffee? No.
He's not going to find this one easy.
No.
Oh, Gordon, there you are. Gordon?
Sorry, my darling, rather lost in my own thoughts there.
Nothing wrong, is there?
No, not wrong exactly.
Good, because I wanted to ask you something.
It's just I've been thinking about old age.
Have you?
Do you realise that 43 years is all the average man gets for his working life? I've had 13 of mine already.
Yes, well, I don't think you really need to worry about that just
There's
yet.
so much to do, my darling, and we can't do it in one lifetime. I need someone to carry on the light. But who? Where will I find someone like me?
I don't think you will, Gordon.
But I have to, don't I?
Gordon, I want Laura to drive me to the hospital.
What?
Not now, when the babies come. She lives just round the corner. All I have to do is give her a call. She'll pick me up, and you don't have to bother at all.
But why would it be a bother, my darling?
Well, it would. You're busy. You've got all sorts of things
But I
on.
still think I
But
could
I
manage.
want it to be Laura.
There's something worrying you, isn't there?
I'll tell you what's worrying me, Gordon. I want my children delivered in a hospital bed. I want doctors and nurses. I want one of those curtains that pulls round the bed.
Of course you do.
And I don't want my babies hauled out by a vet, so I want Laura to take me to the hospital.
All right, my darling, all right, let Laura take you.
Really?
Of course, my darling. If it's going to make you feel more relaxed, that's fine.
Oh, that's wonderful, Gordon. That's... Oh, thank you. Oh, I feel so much better. It's like a whole weight's been lifted from me. Oh.
Would that all problems could be solved so easily. Others, I fear, are slightly knottier. Like, who am I going to get to continue my mission? The person I need has to be young, keen and eager to learn.
Filled in your form, Mr. Brittas.
Linda! I have something very precious to pass on to you.
I've done my best, Mr. Johnson, but I think you're going to need a new pair.
Well, don't you worry. It's not as if I have to drive very far.
You're driving?
Just into town.
Here's the insurance form, Mr. Johnson, if you'd like to take it home and fill it in.
Thank you. You know, I feel terrible about all this. I've never done anything like that in my life. I don't know what made me hit him.
It's not as difficult as you'd think.
I just didn't realise what he was trying to do. And it was such a thoughtful idea.
Oh, yes. Our Mr. Brittas is a very thoughtful man.
Well, it's taught me something, I can tell you.
Has it?
Yes, next time I'm in a hurry and I get impatient with an elderly person, I'm going to remember you're Mr. Brittas.
Oh, good.
I'm going to remember that in all our dealings with others, patience, courtesy and consideration are the things that really matter. Thank you. Goodbye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Ah, Laura.
Mr. B.
I wonder, could you have a quick word with young Linda for me, please?
Of course. Anything in particular?
I needed to unlock the stationery cupboard. I need to get my clothes out.
Can't you ask her?
I have several times, but she refuses to come out. Don't ask me why she's in there. I've got no idea. I was simply explaining the light bulb dream.
Hold him there, Laura. I've got his hearing aid. I've got your hearing aid, Mr. Didcot. Now, don't you worry, you'll hear a lot better once you got this back in. Now, I've changed the batteries, but when I tried this in my ear...
That's been in your ear?
Yes, but it kept on sliding out. I don't know if it's a design fault or whether it's my own natural oils and juices. But I've added this, and this should hold it on really well. Don't worry. Didn't cost a penny. It's just a bit of elastic out of my underpants. You ready?
Just get it away from my face, please, Colin.
We're not going to be difficult, are we, Mr. Didcot?
Colin, I am not Mr. Didcot. Look, it's me. See? It's me. Look. Mr. Brittas.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Brittas. It's just that when you said you had something precious to pass on to me...
He meant he wanted to talk to you about the future, Linda.
Yes. I see that now.
Mr. Brittas thinks you might be right for a special sort of promotion.
Really?
Sorry to interrupt, Gordon, but I just
Rather
wondered...
busy at the moment, darling, I'm afraid.
Yes, I just wondered if you could
In the
come-
middle of a very important meeting.
Yes, of course.
Promotion, Mr. Brittas?
Yes, Linda. You see, when you gave me that form earlier on, I read it and I realised that you might have the special qualities I'm looking for.
Mr. Brittas has had a dream.
Oh, I know all about the dream, Laura. A dream that one day the peoples of the world...
Not that one, Linda.
I wanted to talk to you, really. Yes, if I could just have a
She's
quick
in the
word.
meeting as well, my darling. Should be out in about half an hour.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Now, Linda, what I need to know is, are you the sort of person who has ambition, a sense of purpose? Do you want to go places?
Oh, I do, Mr. Brittas.
Excellent.
I want to go to Oregon.
Oregon?
With my brother. We want to start up a gun shop.
A gun shop?
Well, the laws are much more relaxed over there, you see.
You mean to say you're planning to leave the centre?
Oh, yes, one day. Well, obviously I wouldn't want to work here all my life, Mr. Brittas. I mean, there's a whole world out there.
Mr. Brittas, I just wanted to apologise for fainting on you like that.
You're right, Colin.
It was the disguise, you see. It was so convincing. And then when you pulled off that wig, I mean... Anyway, I thought you might like to know.
The only thing I want to know, Colin, is that you're leaving my office now.
Oh, right.
Colin?
I know you don't want to know, Mr. Brittas, but she's still there.
Who?
Your wife. I think she's gone into labour.
Meeting postponed. Let's go. Mobile. Right, let's go, go, go!
What's he doing?
It's all right, my love. Take it easy, my darling. Nearly there, my darling.
Why have we stopped?
Pedestrian crossing, my sweet. I cannot believe it.
What's he doing?
Someone's driven into the back of us, my darling.
You're driving me to hospital!
We've been involved in a road traffic accident on the Queen's Highway, my sweet. I'm afraid the law requires that we at least exchange names and insurance companies. Shan't be a minute.
God!
Sorry about that. It's these glasses, you see. Mr. Brittas,
I might have known.
it's you, isn't it? Oh, I'm so glad to have this chance to apologise.
You what?
The girl at the centre explained why you were disguised today. How you were just trying to improve the lot of old people.
Mr. Johnson?
It was such a wonderful thing to do. And all I could do was shout at you. I feel so ashamed.
Mr. Johnson, I'm trying to get a pregnant woman to the hospital. Can I see your insurance certificate, please?
Oh, goodness, yes, of course, of course.
All right, I'm dealing with this as fast as I can. What's the problem?
You know, I think I might have left it at home. Perhaps if I gave you my phone number.
Look, I'm going to pull in just up there. I want you to follow me, understand?
Yes, right.
Shouldn't let people his age out on the road. Sorry, my love. Belt up.
Gordon, you've stopped again.
2 minutes, my love. Slightly more complicated than I thought. What are you doing?
What?
You can't just leave it in the middle of the road. That's why I left the space for you behind.
I know. It's just that I find reversing rather difficult these days. I was wondering if you could park it for me.
You what?
I had a bad experience with a pram recently and it's left me a bit...
Yes, all right. Give me the keys. What do you think you're doing? You can't park there. Oi, I'm talking to you. Don't just walk away when I'm talking... Don't you just walk away when I'm talking to you. Come back here. Come back here at once. What a Charlie. Coming, my love. Right, I want your name, address, licence and phone numbers. There's a bit of paper, there's a pen, there's your right hand, and start writing.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, I hadn't realised your wife was...
Just right.
Yes, right.
He's just filling in the details now, my darling. How are you feeling? So you still think it's a real thing, do you? Right. Well, don't forget about your breathing.
Gordon, you've got to get me to the hospital.
Yes, my darling, I will.
Now,
Just as soon as
Gordon, you have to get me there now.
I will, my darling, as soon as
Gordon!
Just move the car, please.
That's what you wanted me to...
Don't forget it. Don't do anything. Just move the car.
Oh, it's very kind of you. Would you like what I've done so far?
No, tear it up. No, don't even tear it up. Just don't do anything apart from move the car.
Right.
What is it now?
Your pen.
Just please, please, please move the car.
Right. Sorry to have held you up, Mrs. Brittas.
Where's he gone now?
Gordon! Oh!
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I've dropped the keys.
What?
Fluttered, I suppose, and they just slipped out of my fingers.
Right, forget the keys.
What?
Just get in the car and let the brake off.
I can't.
Look, I can't go forwards, I can't go backwards. I've got to get to the hospital, so if you'll just get in the car and let the brake off, I'll push him out the way.
But I can't.
Just do it, don't argue. Can't what?
I can't get in the car. It's locked and the keys are down there.
You locked it.
Well, it's a sort of habit. For security. Well, you read these terrible things in the papers. Fortunately, I've got a spare set at home.
Where's home?
Plymouth.
Right, my love, we're going to take a taxi. If you just like to step this way.
Laura! All right, come quickly. It's just like I said. He's got us stuck in the middle of the high street and I can't...
Hello, Laura. Yes, it's me. Yes, she is a bit. In the high street, yes. Would you? That would be excellent. Bye.
She's stuck, isn't she?
What?
Your wife. Just as well you've got a sunroof.
The roof. Of course, the roof. My darling, would you mind turning that little handle for me, please? Come on, don't just stand there. This is an emergency. We'll soon have you out of there, my darling. Right, we each grab an armpit and drag her out.
Could I just mention I've recently had a bypass operation?
Just listen and do what you're told. All right, my darling, like to hold up your arms, please?
Gordon, I won't fit.
Of course you will, my love. Try holding your breath.
I knew this would happen.
It's gonna be all right.
just wanted a hospital bed with doctors and nurses.
And you will get them, my darling, I promise you.
Want to help some bud offs?
What?
Do you want to give us some money?
Do I look as if I want to give you some money?
Help the hospital! Help some bud offs!
Where?
The hospital, it's Ragwick.
You're nurses?
Medical students.
Doctors, even better.
Well, we're not qualified yet.
It's my wife. She's having twins here in my car. Do you want to take a look?
Twins? Phil, over here!
Look who's come to help, my darling. They're doctors. Wasn't that lucky? Right, give me your arm, my darling, give me your arm. Be careful with my little lady, please. Easy does it, easy. Take it easy, my darling. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. Mind the dress. Everything's going to be all right. In many ways, of course, Laura, it's an ideal place.
I'm sorry?
To have a baby. I mean, everything's at hand, isn't it?
Not quite with you.
Well, towels and sheets from Marks and Spencer, hot water from the pub, drugs and stuff from Boots.
Yes.
The weather helps, of course. Do you know, the manager of Smith's even came out with a Reader's Digest book of family medicine?
Yes! They took it too, didn't they?
Everyone's been so supportive, Laura.
I rang the hospital again, Mr. Brittas.
Right.
They've called an emergency ambulance from the army camp. It should be here any minute.
And look at all these presents. And so many people waiting to visit. I just hope she's up to it.
2 boys. Mother and children doing fine.
That's it, Laura.
Congratulations, Mr. Brittas.
Children. Children, Laura. That's it. Children. Children. It's all right. I found someone.